Good day, everyone, and let me take you to the Comprehensive Sexual Education Curriculum Guide and Detailed Lesson Plan in Science. I'm Teacher Liberty Taneo from Lugan National High School, El Salvador City Division. Now let's take a look at on Comprehensive Sexuality Education K to 12 Curriculum Guide. Learning area is science from grade 1 to 10. And here, the Comprehensive Sexuality Education in science is integrated in grade 3. Living things and their environment, the second quarter, where the content is living things, especially in humans, particularly in sense organs of the human. For the performance standards, the learner should be able to practice healthful habits in taking care of the sense organ. And for learning competencies, describes the parts and function of the sense organs of human body. And in here, try to look at this. This is the integration of the comprehensive sexual education. It is to describe the body using proper names. Second is to explain differences and growth. Third is show respect for difference and growth. Next, we have the grade 5 living things and their environment in second quarter. It talks about the reproductive system of humans, its parts and function. The performance standards of this is the learner should be able to practice proper hygiene and care of the reproductive system. We will discuss the role of hormones in development be made explicit in grade 5 and discuss also on LGBT, SOGI, and incorporated in PERDEB in grade 11 and grade 12. Now let's try to look at the learning competencies. Describe the parts of reproductive system and their function. Here we have the integration that the learner should be able to describe sexual and reproductive system, structure and its function. Next is to explain the puberty or sexual maturation and effects on body, emotions, thinking, and social relationship, including body's preparation for reproduction. Next is for grade 6. The same quarter, it is second quarter, and it is in the living things and their environment topic. Okay, the content is on the human body system, its parts and function. The core message of this lesson is for sexuality and sexual behavior. Men and women have a sexual response cycle. Here, let's go to the learning competencies. Explain how the organs of each system work together. The integration of CSE is for the learner should be able to identify the roles and negative consequences of engaging in risky sexual and non-sexual activities before adolescents are physically and emotionally mature. Next is they will describe the common STIs, sexually transmitted infection, including HIV, and the biological, emotional, mental, and social reasons. Next one is for grade 7. In living things and their environment topic, in second quarter, the content is on heredity, inheritance, and variation. It's on sexual reproduction, fertilization. In humans, the learning competencies of this differentiate sexual from sexual reproduction in terms of number of individuals involved, then the similarities of offspring to parents. Next is for grade 8, living things and their environment. In fourth quarter, it talks about the structures and function focus on digestive system. The core message of this integration is excessive alcohol intake may result nutrient deficiency, which definitely cause disease to digestive system and may possibly increase the desire of sex due to suppression of psychological inhibition and cause the body system to slow down. And for learning competencies, identify helpful practice that affect the digestive system. And the integration is that the learner should examine how alcohol and other substances, family, peers, media, and society and culture influence decision about engaging sexual behavior. It also describes situations and behaviors that constitute sexual harassment, abuse, and violence. It explains also the sexual harassment, abuse, assault, rape, and why the victims is not at fault, and discuss the impacts of sexual harassment, sexual abuse, incest, rape, and sexual assault. And also, it deals with identification of specific strategies for reducing gender-based sexual abuse and violence. And here, it also emphasizes to identify the key elements of keeping oneself from harm and advocate for a safe environment that encourage dignified and and also in grade 10, living things and environment, in third quarter, there is also in CSE integration. In the content on coordinated function of reproductive and endocrine and nervous system, the message for this integration is that sexuality and behavior. Men and women bodies changes over time, including their reproductive and sexual capacities and function. Decisions in sexual behavior can affect people's health, future, life plans, and making decisions about sexual behavior includes consideration of all the potential consequences. So here, the learning competencies of this is to describe the parts of reproductive system and their function. The integration is to describe the sexual and reproductive capacity of men and women over the life cycle. And they will differentiate between sexual and reproductive function that are biological and those that are willed or desired according to rights. And they will identify also the potential legal, social, and health consequences of sexual decision making. And it also explained the role of hormones involved in female and male reproductive system. And for the integration, it demonstrates confidence in discussing and using different contraceptive methods. Okay? Now, for the detailed lesson plan, this is the content. Let's try to look at the integration in lesson plan in Science 3, Quarter 2. Now, this is an example of the lesson plan in Science 3, Quarter 2. The learning competencies is based on the most essential learning competencies in which the comprehensive sexual education is integrated. So, the teacher may include the preliminary activity on health inspection to the learners. So, she can make a simple play if they are familiar with these pictures. She can have the guessing game. Okay? These are the pictures. And note to the teacher that on guessing game activity integration of CSE on demonstration of proper hygiene will be emphasized. So, why should we follow proper hygiene? Next activity, the teacher may have this. So, In here, each part of the human body is important. If one part of the body doesn't work because of its condition, the entire body as well as all its activities is affected. In other words, it is imperative for every person to take good care and protect different parts of the body. In here, you must remind the students that they must take good care of themselves by cleaning their body and their sense organs. And you can explain also how to protect the sense organs. Now let's try to look at another lesson plan that is CSE was integrated. The objectives of the learning competency of this topic is describe the process of fertilization. The CSE integration is identify the risks and negative consequences of engaging in sexual activities before adolescents are physically and emotionally mature. So the topic of this lesson is on fertilization. The teacher may give a picture analysis for the students. They will show this picture. The teacher may give a picture, okay, like this picture here. Okay, the teacher will show this picture to the students and ask, what is shown in the picture? Do you know someone who has been in the same situation where they prepared to become parents? Why do you say so? So in here, the teacher should expound the answer of students by discussing the following risks and consequences of teenage pregnancy and emphasize that fertilization is the union of sperm and egg. A human develops sperm and egg that has been then for the application. As grade 7 students, do you think that you are at the right age to engage and experience the process of fertilization, and why? And at the end of the lesson, the teacher must remind everyone that it is your decision and not your condition that determine your destiny. And those are some examples of detailed lesson plan with CSE integration. Before I end, may I give you this quote from Benjamin Spock. He said that sex education, including its spiritual aspect, should be part of a broad health and moral education from kindergarten through grade 12, ideally carried out harmoniously by parents and teachers. And that ends our walkthrough in science curriculum guide and detailed lesson plan. Thank you so much for listening and have a great day.